अथ स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् आनन्द मंगल मंगलम् आनन्द मंगल मंगलम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् नित्य निरन्तरता नवता मानवता समता ममता सारथि साथ मनोरथ का जो अनिवार्य नहीं थमता संकल्प अविजित अभिमतम् संकल्प अविजित अभिमतम् आनंद मंगल मंगलम् आनंद मंगल मंगलम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् अथ स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् कुसुमित नई कामनाएं सुरभित नई साधनाएं कुसुमित नई कामनाएं सुरभित नई साधनाएं मैत्री मति क्रीड़ागण में प्रमुदित बंधु भावनाएं मैत्री मति क्रीड़ागण में प्रमुदित बंधु भावनाएं शाश्वत सुविकसित इति शुभम् शाश्वत सुविकसित इति शुभम् आनंद मंगल मंगलम् आनंद मंगल मंगलम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं भारत भारतम् हितप्रियं
I request everybody to please be seated. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. To improve the golden moment of opportunity and catch the good that is in our reach is the great art of learning, and for that, we all have gathered here today. A very good morning to one and all present here. Respected our esteemed guests for today, our chief guest, Mrs. Minakshi Lekhi ji, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture of India, and Shri Krishan Kumpal Gurjar ji, Honorable Minister of State of Power and Heavy Industries, our distinguished guests, Professor Balaram Pani sir, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, And guests of honor, Professor V.S. Chauhan Sir, Padma Shri awardee and distinguished visiting professor, IOE, University of Delhi, Professor D.S. Rawat Sir, Vice Chancellor, Kumaon University, Professor S.K. Avasthi Sir, Head, Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi, Professor D.S. Chauhan Sir, Chairman, Governing Body, Deshbandhu College, Shri Suresh Jain ji, National Organizing Secretary, Bharat Vikas Parishad, our Principal Sir, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta Sir, Professor Devnandan Kumar Sir, Teacher in Charge, Department of Chemistry, Convener ICHE-2023, Dr. Pratibha Kumari, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Aditya Saxena, co-conveners, distinguished faculty members, participants, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Department of Chemistry, Deshbandhu College, I, Dr. Vaishali Arora, Assistant Professor, offer a gracious welcome to you all to the International Conference on Integrative Chemical Science for Health and Environment. It's our holy tradition to worship Lord Ganesha and Goddess Saraswati before any important event. So, before we move forward, let us dedicate our prayers to Lord Ganesha and Ma Saraswati and seek their blessings. Let us dedicate our prayers to Lord Ganesha and Ma Saraswati, and for that, now I would like to request all the dignitaries to please come forward for the lighting of the lamp to invoke the Almighty. Please. The students of Thomas Society are here with us to sing Saraswati Vandana. Thank you, everyone. As a part of the protocol, I now request everyone to please stand for the Kul Geet of the University of Delhi. Thank you, everyone. I humbly request all the dignitaries to please come on the dais. Our chief guest, Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi ji, Shri Krishan Pal Gurjar ji, Professor V.S. Chauhan sir, Professor D.S. Rawat sir, Professor S.K. Awasthi sir, Shri Suresh Jain ji, Professor D.S. Chauhan sir, Professor Kamal Gupta sir, and the convener, Dr. Pratibha Kumari ma'am. Felicitation is an inspiration to others and motivation to whom you are felicitating. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. Now it's time to express our gratitude. I request our principal, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Mrs. Minakshi Lekhi ji, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture of India. Please, ma'am and sir. Sir, we have a token of appreciation for ma'am as well. Thank you, ma'am, for taking out time for us and be here today. Thank you so much. I once again request our principal, sir, to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Sri Krishna Pal Gurjar ji, Honorable Minister of State of Power and Heavy Industries. Thank you, sir, for taking out your prestigious time and be here with us today. Thank you so much, sir. It's our privilege to have Professor V.S. Chauhan, sir, Padma Shri awardee and distinguished visiting professor, IOE, University of Delhi, as our guest of honor for the day. I now invite our teacher in charge, Department of Chemistry, Professor Devanandan Kumar, sir, to honor him with a token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are extremely delighted to have Professor D.S. Rawat Sir, Vice Chancellor, Kumar University, as our guest of honor for the day. I invite Dr. Namita Gandhi, co-convener ICHE 2023, to please come forward and welcome him. Thank you, sir and ma'am. It is indeed our pleasure to have Professor S.K. Avasti, sir, Head, Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi. On this notable day, I request the convener, ICHE 2023, Dr. Pratibha Kumari ma'am, to please felicitate him. Thank you, sir and ma'am. We are fortunate to have amongst us Shri Suresh Jain sir, National Organizing Secretary, Bharat Vikas Parishad, as our guest of honor. I request the senior-most faculty of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Vivek Saxena sir, to please come forward and present a token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. I now call upon our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Aditya Saxena, to please formally welcome our chief patron, Professor D.S. Chauhan, sir, Chairman, Governing Body, Deshbandhu College. I invite Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I invite on stage Dr. Ishwar Kumar Dutt Vats, co-convener ICHE 2023, to welcome our pillar of support, our principal, sir, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta. I also request Ishwar sir to please welcome the convener of ICHE 2023, Dr. Pratibha Kumari ma'am. Now I request our principal sir, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta sir, to please come on the stage and address the gathering.
Namaste, good morning, and a very bright morning on this special occasion, special day. I welcome the respected dignitaries on the dais, our chief guest, Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi, Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture of India, our chief guest, Shri Krishan Pal Gujar, Minister of States for Power and Heavy Industry. Welcome you, sir. Welcome you, ma'am, at Deshbandhu College on this day of international conference. I welcome our chief patron, Professor D.S. Chauhan, whose blessings are always there with us and who always motivate and encourage for the progress of the college. My heartiest welcome to the guest of honor, Professor V.S. Chauhan, Padam Shri, and a renowned scientist and also visiting faculty of Institute of Eminence. Welcome you, sir. I feel delighted to welcome our guest of honor, Professor D.S. Rawat, Vice Chancellor, Kumayu University. I welcome Professor S.K. Avasthi, Head of the Department. Welcome you, sir. And I also feel proud to welcome our guest of honor, Shri Suresh Jain. Welcome. I extend a heartiest welcome to all the delegates, national and international, faculty members, participants of this conference. And it's really a proud moment for Deshbandhu College to host this conference on integrative chemical science for health and environment. If I just speak about Deshbandhu College, I really feel proud to say Deshbandhu College has completed 71 years, and it is the oldest college of South Delhi. It is the largest college, largest co-ed college, catering 5,000 students. And when we talk about motive, it is karmanya vadikaraste, which say that only right we have is to do karma. Rest, we should leave it to God. We should do our karma with honesty and what we are doing. And this can easily be seen when we started Deshbandhu College in 1952 on the name of famous freedom fighter Lala Deshbandhu Gupta. We had a very modest beginning with just 50 students and prep courses. And in its span of 71 years, there's a 100-fold increase in the number of students. Right now, we are catering more than 5,000 students with 18 departments, and some of the departments which are unique to us, like languages, the Bangla and Sindhi. Plus, we cater all the science courses, all the humanities courses. So it's really a proud moment for all of us. I also wish to say a couple of more things here, that last couple of years were really a symbol of our progress. In the last NAC rating, we were graded A++, and we were in the top 5 college of Delhi University. Also, in the NIRF ranking, in the college category, our college got 17th All India rank, and we were among the top 10 college of Delhi University. So we can say that we joined the elite club of top 10. And it is not just number, the infrastructure, the type of training, what we do is witness to this. Sir, I want to share one thing, that in last 5 years, we have hosted 5 international conferences. And this is the 5th one. So this is a small contribution of Deshbandhu College to the vision and dream of our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi of Vishwaguru. So this is a small contribution, the 5th international conference. We have robust infrastructure, we have good training background, we have the Deshbandhu College speaks more than 5,000 students, more than 225 teachers, more than 125 supporting staff, 11 acres of land. And that what it speaks. Deshbandhu College is a training ground, not only academically, research, but also students all over India come with some dreams in their eyes and got an opportunity to fulfill all that. So we cater the students from all over India. We believe in holistic development of the students. There we provide all the opportunities where they can explore their hidden talent. I really congratulate the organizing team, especially the convener, Dr. Pratibha, who envisioned this conference on the integrative chemical science on health and environment. Whenever we talk about health and environment right now, it is everyone who is talking about health and environment. Everyone is concerned about health and environment. I can say that the health and environment, the ill health and ill environment may be a byproduct of development. When we look at the technologies, when we look at the development, if we say what we have gained and what we have lost, right now our environment is crying, everyone is sick in one or other aspect. So therefore, this is the prime responsibilities of academia and researchers to find the technologies, environment safe technologies, and which can give a better health. And right now, though I put a pessimist statement that development leads to ill environment and ill health, but in fact, it is not that. Right now, everyone is looking for the environment friendly technologies. So we can really cope up with the loss what we have done to the environment. We are also making the technologies by which we can get good health. And one of the beautiful example of this is during COVID time, earlier the pandemic, they used to take a great toll to the life and the economy. But this time in the COVID pandemic, we could develop the vaccine in less than 1 year. And again, India took the lead role. So we should feel proud of it. Without taking much of the time, I know we are already late by some of the time. I again congratulate and extend best wishes to the organizing team. And I know these 3 days are going to be brainstorming for the participants. When I was looking the schedule, there are more than 40 invited talks. There are more than 50 research scholars talk, or what you call the paper presentations, are more than 100 online. This is a hybrid mode conference. So again, I welcome all the delegates and all our distinguished guests. And again, congratulate the organizing team for hosting this. Please, I wish that these 3 days are going to be very productive and fruitful and having the brainstorming sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Sir, for your warm and inspiring welcome address. Our chief guest, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi ji, is at present Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture of India. She is a member of Parliament from New Delhi Parliamentary Constituency in the 16th and 17th Lok Sabha. After graduating in BSc Honours from Hindu College and LLB from Campus Law Center, Delhi University, she enrolled with Bar Council of Delhi in 1990. She practiced in various courts, including several tribunals, Delhi High Court, and the Supreme Court of India. Honorable Srimati Lekhi ji has been appointed as a chairperson of Parliamentary Committee on Public Undertakings. She has been a social activist and has been actively associated with social and cultural activities for securing justice for women and children. Known for her articulating skills, Honorable Minister has also been a part of drafting committee of many bills. We are privileged to have you as a chief guest, ma'am. Your presence as the chief guest will leave a lasting impression on the participants of the conference. I now invite Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture of India, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi ji, to share her valuable perspective.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Honorable Shri D.S. Chauhanji, Shri Y.S. Chauhanji, my friend and colleague, Shri Gujarji, Krishnpal Gujarji is a friend of mine. हम लोग साथ ही काम करते हैं, दोनों मित्र भी हैं. Professor Avasti, Professor Paniji, Suresh ji, Professor Rawatji, and all the academics and members of the faculty who are present here, young students who are in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, pleasure and honor being here. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that as a minister who's handling the charge of culture, I must start from where my portfolio speaks. So the culture of India is basically not just dance music, but it was a culture of science. And unfortunately, when imperial powers ruled over us, the culture of science was something we were made to forget. And it is that revival of the culture which will take India forward. The culture of science is actually, you look at anything. Yesterday only, I was talking to one Ayurvedic doctor, And like all of us today are, handling heavy cell phones, iPads, computers, we all have got some issues with the cervical. Little less or more, but we all end up having it. You know what she said? She said you need to do neck tucking. So I'm like, neck tucking like this or this. So is this is these are the postures of dance. This is the posture which a lot of people in all our dance forms use. So whether it's Kathak or it's Bharatnatyam or it's Kathakali, you see, you look at them and they are moving their neck like this and forward. These are the neck tucks. So if this is not science, what else is science? So even dance form is science. We were people who first documented the plants. Will you believe that today, uh, across the globe, people will say Ayurveda, etc., is not science because it is not sort of talked about as much, etc., etc. But with COVID-19, with pandemic, people have realized the power of all the kadas we've been drinking all these years and the power of Indian kitchen for that matter. So on one side, you say uh, the food and the gourmet is part of culture. But I would say the Indian kitchen is part of science. Our kitchens are the most appropriate labs for cooking food the right way, keeping the season in mind, keeping the body type, health, etc. of the person, which, our ancestors have been using for all these years. So it is the culture of science. While gourmet is part of culture, food is part of culture, but it is the culture of science which this country has taken forward. I think people need to understand and appreciate that. People need to understand and appreciate that even today, more than 60 to 80% of chemicals in terms of medicine are coming from the plants. They are phytochemicals. 60 to 80%, depending on which country you're in. 60 to 80% of chemicals are phytochemicals, which are being used for medicinal purposes. So this is culture of science again. So I think where there is a disconnect between people, society, and science is what we all need to work on and build on. That this country's culture is the culture of science, culture of thinking, culture of questioning, culture of finding the right path, and non aggression. I mean, I picked up these sweeties, candies purposely. Now, these candies, the Imli candy, has been used for time immemorial since our childhood. Even I, as a child, would mix amchur and shakar to make my own jeera and everything to make my own candy. But today, when what irks me, what hurts me, is the single packaging. The single pack which we are doing for candies is what is hurting me the most because the wrapper is nothing but plastic. So, culture of science, प्रोफेसर पानी जी का स्वागत है. So I was just talking about my pain because if it's a conference on science, the conference on science needs to find answers to few questions and need to change the culture sometimes. So the culture of using single packing of candies, of small, pan masalas, etc., etc., needs to stop. We all need to work towards stopping this. This is rubbish. And we are promoting it. We are promoting a wrong culture. Because if we truly are a culture of science, we have to use our brains and ask questions that what is this single packaging leading to? So much of plastic which will actually not be pickable also. You will not be able to pick every piece of garbage and recycle, because the smaller it gets, difficult it gets to recycle it. Culture needs to change and go back to our culture, which was far more scientific. For example, water. I mean, bottled water. I would say, why are we using bottled water? We are scientists. We know. अरे मिट्टी का बर्तन सिर्फ कल्चर के लिए नहीं भाई, साइंस के लिए भी. Because if we are using all these filtration techniques, we are actually keeping the minerals away, which our body so deeply requires. If you really want to treat the water, all you need is maybe UV rays, maybe something to kill the bacteria and viruses which are diarrhea and dysentery causing, and rest you should get the minerals which can only be absorbed by the body because they get dissolved in the water. Otherwise that format is not working. I think the culture of science, asking the right questions, putting the right solutions, is what this conference is all about. And when you talk about health, I was also noticing the beautiful flower arrangement, but sometimes, all the sponges that we use, we need to stop, we need to find replacement. Or even if, it's okay to put the flowers directly into the vases, into the buckets, into whatever. You don't need to use the sponge, because by using sponge we are actually causing so much of environmental damage. Today the subject is the health. I assume it's the health of human beings, and when we talk about environment, it is the health of the earth. And if it is health of the earth and health of the environment, we go back to the basic science. The basic science is picking it up from the culture. I remember I saw these young children doing the NCC parade. I'd go back to my own days at school and college, and Girl Guide used to be there. And at that time, we used to have a prayer. I don't remember the whole of it, but I remembered few lines which have stuck in my mind. It says, "अणु से तू परमाणु बना, फिर नीर बना, नदियां गहरी तेरे रूप अनेक, तू एक ही है." So finally, we are all debating and talking about universality of existence of human beings or the earth is through the atoms and molecules. And today we can go a step deeper because of the Nobel, the positioning of electrons. The positioning of electrons changes the qualities and the properties of the so I think property of beings, living beings, or property of earth, or property of non-living, and this deep connection of ecology, so-called deep ecology between living and non-living beings, which our ancestors knew for time immemorial. We forgot all that. And why were we worshipping rivers? Why were we worshipping trees if we didn't understand the science? Basically, we understood the science, and thus we brought in a culture of respect. So, respect was because you understood the science. You understood the value of people, you understood the value of uh, Tulsi, you understood the value of sleeping or not sleeping under a tree at night, you understood the value of protecting the environment. And that culture, until and unless that sensitivity comes into the existence, the sensibility will always fall short. The sensibility will follow the sensitivity, and sensitivity towards existence and using methods, science, and technology to go forward is the way forward. I request all of you to pay attention to these minute things, because if we solve this question of single piece wrapping, if we solve the question of packaging material which is causing such a lot of environmental damage that nothing else is, if we go back, not really long back, but just about 25 years ago, when all the Coke and Campa-Cola and Pepsi, etc., were served in glass bottles. They were not served in PET bottles and plastic bottles. If we go back, that you and I, many people my age, would be eating chips out of the vendors directly from the dabba to the paper, and you would eat it immediately, fresh. and not the packaged food material which we've all got used to, we are not only damaging our health, we are damaging the health of the earth also. So, packaging and packed food material and dealing with the plastic waste should be part of integrated health and environment, and that should, your discussion should wear around finding those solutions, that how much damage are we causing by using plastic bottles, taking microplastic, engulfing microplastic in our system, eating out of packaged food through chips and whatever else. I think this, the earlier system, the culture which India had just about 25 years ago, was far better for your health, my health, and health of the earth. I seek your indulgence on these subjects with these words. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much for these inspiring words.
Apologies, after giving up the mic, you never come back, but I need to seek your indulgence because there was a requirement by the party. I have to be somewhere else. So I'll seek your leave. No disrespect meant to anyone. It's just my schedule is a bit tight. I look forward to the presentation of the papers and the concluding remarks and etc. I will look up to, since this is an online. It's a dual format. I will keep watching also. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Plastic bottles, plastic plates, plastic spoons, or shayad plastic smile bhi. We have to leave it and we have to move forward back to our roots. Thank you very much. I'm happy to announce that Professor Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, is amongst us. I request our principal, sir, to please welcome him and felicitate him with the token of appreciation. थैंक यू सर। हमारे मुख्य अतिथि आदरणीय श्री कृष्णपाल गुर्जर जी का संक्षिप्त जीवन परिचय मैं आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करती हूँ। फरीदाबाद हरियाणा क्षेत्र के जाने माने कृषक एवं समाजसेवी परिवार चौधरी हंसराज गुर्जर जी के घर जन्मे श्री कृष्णपाल गुर्जर जी अपने छात्र जीवन से ही समाज सेवा एवं राजनीति में सक्रिय रहे, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप अपने छात्र जीवन में ही छात्र संघ के महासचिव बने। वर्ष 1994 में हरियाणा में पहली बार फरीदाबाद नगर निगम के चुनाव में रिकॉर्ड मतों से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पार्षद निर्वाचित हुए और नेता पार्षद दल रहे। वर्ष 1996 में हरियाणा के विधानसभा चुनाव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रत्याशी के रूप में क्षेत्र के जाने माने राजनेता व पूर्व मंत्री को 37,000 से अधिक मतों से हराकर मेवला महाराजपुर विधानसभा से विधायक बने। वर्ष 2000 में हरियाणा के विधानसभा चुनाव में पुनः भारतीय जनता पार्टी के विधायक बने और हरियाणा विधानसभा में नेता भाजपा विधायक दल रहे। वर्ष 2009 में तिरगोव विधानसभा से तीसरी बार विधायक निर्वाचित हुए और वर्ष 2014 में फरीदाबाद लोकसभा क्षेत्र से 4,66,000 से भी अधिक मतों के अंतर से सांसद निर्वाचित हुए। 26 मई 2014 को आदरणीय मोदी जी की सरकार में सड़क परिवहन, राजमार्ग एवं जहाजरानी राज्य मंत्री बने। उसके बाद 2019 के लोकसभा चुनाव में भी फरीदाबाद लोकसभा क्षेत्र से 6 लाख से अधिक मतों से विजय प्राप्त की, जो कि पूरे देश में तीसरी सबसे बड़ी जीत थी। आदरणीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में बनी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सरकार के दूसरे कार्यकाल में सामाजिक न्याय एवं अधिकारिता मंत्रालय में राज्य मंत्री के रूप में पहले अपने जिम्मेदारियों का निर्वहन किया और वर्तमान में श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में बनी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में ऊर्जा मंत्रालय एवं भारी उद्योग मंत्रालय में राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपनी जिम्मेदारी का निर्वहन कर रहे हैं। श्री कृष्णपाल गुर्जर जी निरंतर समाज के विभिन्न वर्गों में अपनी भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। आदरणीय मंत्री श्री कृष्णपाल गुर्जर जी को मैं उद्बोधन हेतु आमंत्रित करती हूँ।
आज के इस 3 दिवसीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कॉन्फ्रेंस के उद्घाटन के शुभ अवसर पर मेरे साथ मंच पर उपस्थित आदरणीय प्रोफेसर कमल गुप्ता जी, देशबंधु कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल साहब, प्रोफेसर DS चौहान जी, चेयरमैन गवर्निंग बॉडी, प्रोफेसर बलराम पानी जी, डीन ऑफ कॉलेज दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय, प्रोफेसर BS चौहान जी, पद्मश्री अवार्डी, प्रोफेसर DS रावत जी, कुलपति कुमायूं विश्वविद्यालय, प्रोफेसर SK अवस्थी जी, प्रमुख रसायन विभाग, श्री सुरेश जैन जी, राष्ट्रीय आयोजन सचिव भारत विकास परिषद, डॉक्टर प्रतिभा कुमारी जी, संयोजक ICHE 2023 एवं इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित देश और विदेश के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से आए हुए वैज्ञानिक, शोध विद्यार्थी, पत्रकार एवं छायाकार मित्रों, आज इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन इंटीग्रेटेड केमिकल साइंस फॉर हेल्थ एंड एनवायरनमेंट में उपस्थित होकर मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। ये मेरे लिए सम्मान की बात भी है। सबसे पहले मैं रसायन विज्ञान से जुड़े सभी शिक्षक और विद्यार्थियों को 2023 का रसायन विज्ञान नोबेल पुरस्कार क्वांटम डॉट्स की खोज और सॉल्यूशन के लिए बधाई देता हूं। मित्रों, अतीत से वर्तमान तक रसायन विज्ञान मानव स्वास्थ्य और पर्यावरण की बेहतरी के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है। रसायन विज्ञान जीवन रक्षक फार्मास्यूटिकल्स बनाता है, ऊर्जा समाधान विकसित करता है एवं कृषि उत्पादकता में भी सुधार करता है। एक कुशल रासायनिक पर्यावरण के ध्यान में रखते हुए कुछ नोवेल सामग्री का निर्माण करते हैं, जिससे कुकवेयर, कपड़े, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक उपकरणों आदि उत्पादों की गुणवत्ता में सुधार होता है। पिछले कुछ वर्षों में हमने कृषि, ऊर्जा और स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र में महत्वपूर्ण विकास किया है, जिसने मानव कल्याण में योगदान दिया है। हालांकि हमारे जीवन में कुछ सुधारों के परिणाम स्वरूप हमारे आसपास के वातावरण में बदलाव आया है। हमें यह सुनिश्चित करने के लिए काम करना चाहिए कि कुछ क्षेत्रों में हमारे विकास से हमारे पर्यावरण पर प्रतिकूल प्रभाव न पड़े। मैं जानता हूं कि आप सभी सम्मेलन शुरू होने का बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे हैं और मुझे मालूम है कि मंच पर भी हमारे बीच बैठे हुए इस सेमिनार के, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के विशेषज्ञ बैठे हुए हैं, प्रोफेसर हैं, केमिस्ट्री का ज्ञान रखने वाले हैं, डीन हैं। इस विषय पर उनसे ज्यादा जानकारी किसी के पास नहीं हो सकती। मैं तो राजनीतिक शास्त्र का विद्यार्थी हूं, कॉलेज से लेकर। अगर राजनीतिक भाषण देना हो तो खूब अच्छा दे सकता हूं, लेकिन क्योंकि विषय ऐसा है, रसायन से संबंधित है, और जब भारत को विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए मोदी जी संकल्प ले चुके हैं, उस समय विकसित भारत भी बनाना है और स्वस्थ भारत भी बनाना है, और इन दोनों में सामंजस्य कौन रख सकता है? वो केमिस्ट्री रख सकती है। इसलिए ये विषय जो केमिस्ट्री के ज्ञाता हैं, जो शोध करता है, वही इस पे ज्यादा अपना वक्तव्य रख सकेंगे। मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूं, मैं ज्यादा समय भी नहीं लूंगा। ICHE 2023 टीम द्वारा किए गए प्रयास के लिए बधाई देता हूं और इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन की शानदार सफलता की कामना भी करता हूं। निश्चित रूप से इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में सभी उपस्थित प्रतिभागी को लाभ होगा और विद्यार्थी शोध के प्रति प्रोत्साहित होंगे। मुझे विश्वास है कि इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में प्रस्तुत शोध पत्र में प्राप्त जानकारी से हमारे युवा अवश्य ही भारत की प्रमुख पहल स्टार्टअप इंडिया और स्किल इंडिया मिशन आदि से जुड़ेंगे और एक सकारात्मक भूमिका निभाएंगे और देश की सर्वोत्तम सेवा प्रदान करने में मदद भी करेंगे। अतः मैं इस एक बार पुणे यहाँ देश व विदेश के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से आए सभी गणमान्य व्यक्तियों वैज्ञानिकों का हृदय से बधाई देता हूं और शोध विद्यार्थियों के उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करते हुए अपनी बात को समाप्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। भारत माता की।
आपके इस उद्बोधन हेतु बहुत आभार, आपका धन्यवाद। We have amongst us Professor R.K. Goel, Vice Chancellor, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University. I request him to please come on the stage so that we can felicitate him. Professor Ramesh Kumar Goel ji. I request Professor Indrakant Singh to kindly felicitate him. Just to inform the audience present here, Sir is guest of honor for the valedictory program to be held on the third day of the conference. Welcome so much. Thank you, sir. We are so fortunate to have Professor D.S. Chauhan, sir, as Chairman Governing Body, Deshbandhu College. He is Pro-Chancellor, GLA University, Mathura, former Vice-Chancellor, Uttarakhand Technical University, Dehradun. He is our chief patron and a source of inspiration. I invite you, sir, for your address. Professor D.S. Chauhan. Welcome.
हम सब आज के इस कार्यक्रम में जितने भी हमारे अभ्यागत बैठे हुए हैं मंच पर, वैसे तो बीएस चौहान डीएस चौहान दोनों भाई हैं, मुझसे 1 साल छोटे हैं, पर विद्वान हमारे परिवार में सबसे अधिक यही रहा। आज के मुख्य अतिथि मीनाक्षी दी जा चुकी हैं और कृष्णपाल जी ने बहुत अच्छा किया मातृभाषा में बोल के कि मैं भी सोच रहा हूँ कि उसी में बोलूं। हमारे अवस्थी जी, पाणी जी और सुरेश जी तो खैर मेरे 40 साल से, मैं आईआईटी दिल्ली में जब था तो एक छोटे भाई की तरह मेरे पास ही रहे। रमेश जी गोयल कुलपति हमारे 2 हैं, एक तो डीएस रावत और डीएस चौहान, दोनों बगल बैठे हुए थे, इसलिए लग रहा था कि दोनों एक ही हैं। और आपके प्राचार्य कमल जी बहुत ही सौम्य। और आज की ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है, क्योंकि किसी भी कॉलेज में कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस कराना इतना आसान नहीं होता और इतने अतिथियों को एक साथ जोड़ना और कठिन है, लेकिन इस कॉलेज का जब से मैं आया हूं मुझे तो बड़ी खुशी होती है कि ये इतने अच्छे स्थान पर आप जा चुका है कि अब इसको नीचे लाना बहुत मुश्किल है। इसलिए आप सबका प्रयास रहना चाहिए कि जो भी मानक हैं नैक के, उन सबको अचीव करते हुए आपको ऊपर जाना है। लोग कहते हैं कि कॉलेज विकसित नहीं हो सकता, कॉलेज कुछ भी हो सकता है। आज की जो आपकी कॉन्फ्रेंस है, लोग कहते हैं कि संसार में सबसे कोई मतलब सुख है तो आरोग्यम, पहला सुख निरोगी काया। कोई रोग हो ही ना, और उसके लिए आवश्यक यह है कि आपकी जो सारी केमिस्ट्री है बॉडी की, ये पंच तत्व हमारे जो है उनमें से आकाश का हमें महसूस नहीं होता कि पता नहीं कितना ये पॉल्यूट हुआ है, क्योंकि बहुत विशाल है। मैं नासा में साइंटिस्ट रहा हूं, तो वहां पर भी इसकी जो विशालता है हम लोग नापने की कोशिश करते थे। प्रकाश वर्षों में बहुत मुश्किल होता था, क्योंकि जो इंडियन था सर टॉक, वही ये सारा काम किया करता। वो कहता था चौहान जी अनंत ही है ये आकाश जो है, लेकिन जल से हम सब बने हुए हैं। ये जल तत्व है, ये हम सब में विद्यमान है, और केमिस्ट्री ये जल तत्व है। एक तत्व पे यदि पॉल्यूट हो गया तो सारी केमिस्ट्री पॉल्यूट हो गई। वी हैव टू मेंटेन द बैलेंस ऑफ द केमिकल्स as well as the chemistry of the body. Mind, what we call inner, the body of the human, that has no chemistry. Even that is not also physics. मन का अंतःकरण का कोई विज्ञान भिन्न है। ये तो कहा गया है कि ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्तात्मा कूटस्थ विजितेंद्रिय। संसार में ज्ञान भी होना चाहिए, साथ साथ में विज्ञान भी होना चाहिए। वी मस्ट नो द एप्लीकेशन। गाय तो हमारे घर में है, पर हमको धोना नहीं आता। विज्ञान वो है, यू कैन एक्सप्लॉइट द नॉलेज फॉर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वेरियस फिजिकल प्रॉस्पेरिटीज, बट विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग द पीस, द पीसफुल एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ ईच अदर। लेकिन हमेशा अच्छे विचार आए, ये आपकी हेल्थ की वो कसौटी है। आनो भद्रहा कृतवो यंतु विश्वतः। जब तक आपके मन में अच्छे विचार आते हैं और अच्छी कृति करते हो आप समझो आप हेल्दी हो। और जैसे ही आपके मन में दूषित विचार आए और आपको लगे कि मुझे किसी का बुरा करना है, आप समझिए यू आर नॉट हेल्दी। अहम तो संस्कृत में है ये, अहम तुष्टम वयम तुष्टम। अहम तुष्टम के कारण से सब दुखी हैं, क्योंकि हम जानते नहीं हाउ टू हैव ए कॉमन प्लीजेंट द यूनिवर्सल सेटिस्फैक्शन। सबका जो है सुख हम चाहने वाले, सर्वे संत निरामया, सबकी हेल्थ चाहने वाले, किसी में कोई दोस्त न देखने वाले, किसी का दुख न देखने वाला, ऐसा भारत। तो उसकी केमिस्ट्री कैसी होगी, उसकी फिजिक्स कैसी होगी, उसका विज्ञान कैसा होगा। लोग कहते हैं कि वेद जो है वो अपौरुषेय हैं। वी हैव नॉट गिवन क्रेडिट टू ह्यूमन बीइंग, वी हैव गिवन क्रेडिट ऑफ द नॉलेज टू द गॉड। अपौरुषेय कहा है, और जो अपौरुषेय होता है उसमें सभी पुरुषों को लगना पड़ता है। और पुरुष वो है जिसकी आत्मा बड़ी प्रबल है, who is led by the soul, and he has to lead the soul towards the absolute soul. And you will lead only when your knowledge is perfect, and that knowledge perfection does mean that you can do the good to the others. You are not surviving for yourself, you are dedicating sublimation for the others. Ano Vadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. You can take the ideas from anywhere. For what? To make yourself very prosperous? No. सर्वे भवंत सुखिनः। सभी जगह सुख हो, ये मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है उसमें। हाउ आई कैन प्रोड्यूस हैप्पीनेस टू अदर्स, दैट द ग्रेटेस्ट चैलेंज टू एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग, इंक्लूडिंग द एजुकेशन सिस्टम। एंड एजुकेशन सिस्टम मस्ट हैव the higher and higher values, and we must always feel that we are contributing to the happiness for common men, and with this goal we can improve the entire science. साइंस केवल डिस्ट्रक्शन के लिए नहीं है, ये कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए है। वी हैव टू बिल्ड द नेशन। कहते हैं कि अर्थ पर ही स्वर्ग होगा तो कैसा होगा, और उसके लोग कैसे होंगे। इस भावना से जब हम अपने पूरे ज्ञान को, विज्ञान को, अपने आत्म जीवन को विकसित करेंगे, तो मुझे लगता है केमिस्ट्री जो है वो बड़ी सुखद होगी। क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ के जितने पेड़ पौधे हैं उसकी जो फार्माकोग्नोसी करते हैं, हमारे रमेश जी बैठे हुए हैं, ऊपर ही हैं, जब तक जो है आपको ये पता ही नहीं इसमें क्या दवा का कंटेंट है, ये नुकसान करेगा कि फायदा करेगा, जो नुकसान करे उसको हटाओ, हैं? और इसके बाद जो फायदा करे उसको रखो। उसके बाद आप जो है सारे संसार को रिकमेंड कर सकते हैं, व्हाट आई हैव डन आई कैन वॉच सेफ, दैट इट विल कीप यू सेफ, हेल्दी। पर्यावरण बिगड़ना नहीं चाहिए। पिता से बेटे का पर्यावरण ना बिगड़े, बेटे से पिता का बिगड़े। लोग कहते हैं कि जब शरीर को कष्ट होता है तो मन को कष्ट होता है, पर जब मन को कष्ट होगा तब क्या होगा, पूरा ही शरीर कष्ट में आ जाएगा। आप ये मन सोचो कि ये सब इंडिपेंडेंट है, सब जुड़े हुए हैं। हम पास्ट को याद इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि फ्यूचर पता ही नहीं है। जितने भगवान हो गए हैं सबको प्रणाम कर लेते हैं, लेकिन आने वाली संतान भगवान कौन सी होगी किसी को नहीं पता है। तो लेट अस टुडे डिसाइड through this conference that this science will lead the humanity towards the goal of happiness, a common happiness and universal happiness. I pay my regards to everyone who came here. I pay my regards to those who are participating, and I pray God this conference must be successful. Always, elevate the status of this college. And with this prayer, I again thank you. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः का संदेश देते हुए अपने विचार साझा करने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। Our guest of honor, Professor V.S. Chauhan sir, is a renowned scientist and a Rhodes Scholar, working in the fields of genetic engineering and biotechnology. He is known for his contributions to the development of recombinant vaccine for malaria and for synthetic structural peptides with biological functions. He was honored by the Government of India in 2012 with the 4th highest Indian civilian award of Padma Shri. He is at present the Chancellor of Gandhi Institute of Technology and Management and Distinguished Visiting Professor, Institution of Eminence, University of Delhi. I am feeling a deep sense of pride in calling you, sir, to share your words of wisdom with all our participants. Professor V.S. Chauhan, sir.
I first of all like to thank the organizers. It's 11:04. I think we are slightly behind the time, so I'll be very brief. So my old friends on the dais and some newly acquired friends on the dais, and all of you in front of me. I will try not to be too technical, but the title that you have for the talk needs many dots need to be connected. Unfortunately, we are in a time where these dots are becoming too many and very difficult to connect. So you heard previous three speakers. They've given you a very good idea on how to behave and how look at the environment and how to respect. But in reality, the reality is very different. And I think if we don't catch up the reality, we could be talking and talking to each other that we should do this, we should do that. This is advisable, this is not advisable. But action would be missing. Our Honorable Prime Minister went to COPA 27 और आप उनके अगर भाषण सुने तो उन्होंने बहुत ही बात की थी जो जो हम लोग बात की उन्होंने ऐसी बात नहीं की. I'll come to that in a minute. Let me quickly, very quickly look at what is in front of us. कल दोपहर को पोप फ्रांसिस ने in Rome invited all the top Catholic bishops and some people, some scientists, and had a big Vatican had come out with a paper yesterday, which I think in 10 days will be on the internet. This paper has been produced, this white paper has been produced after 2 years of work. It has amazing conclusion. And I think this needs to be captured. That conclusion, and then at the same time yesterday, European Union, yesterday, this, it's coincidental these things happened yesterday. European Union has come out with a white paper by saying that this is what we've been discussing for 25 years and this is what we haven't done for 25 years. And I'm talking about environment, you can call it climate change, environment, and of course it has direct impact on your health. So let me deal with health first. As a chemist, and many of you will grow into becoming chemists, what are the challenges? So if the Nobel Prize has gone for quantum dots were discovered more than 20 years back. Amazing things have happened with quantum dots. With in medicine, Nobel Prize has gone to Katalin Kariko and Drew Weissman for something which, not in India, but rest of the world have been immunized with. That is an mRNA vaccine against COVID. So these things can come. And the notion that technology will solve all the problems, as far as I am concerned, I grew up in this country, I taught in this country, is really overestimated conclusion. And I think it's a dangerous one to think that we can keep bringing problem in front of science and science will solve all of them. Science actually does not solve all of them. If science could solve them, then you would not have had amazing fires in north of Canada, which burned for more than 4 months. Whole of Europe burnt with fire. California had fires. We had floods. Pakistan last year had floods. We just had a flash flood in Sikkim. If technology was running around solving these problems, then I think we wouldn't have lost so many lives. So I think the food for thought, that we don't pressurize technology or chemical sciences so much that there is no earth to solve a problem. You may think I'm ringing alarm bells, but actually alarm bells are like that. The last year and the present year have been the hottest in the history of mankind. Not in past 100 years, past 200 years, in past 125,000 years, or as long as you have record. So which technology is solving the problem of reducing the rise in temperature? If you ask me right now, none. Will technology, if they produce, will they be employed? Let me just say this to you: when inventions happen, they don't get participated throughout the world. COVID vaccine is a good example. COVID vaccines were available in India, in China, in Russia, in Turkey, in Europe, but none of African countries had any COVID vaccine till the very end. Not more than 10% of Africa was immunized. So we can walk ahead with our technology ban, but technology doesn't get distributed. When we come to what faces us right now, and if you think my introductory talk is negative, it is not. It is just that not taking care of what is in front of you can fool you. You can fool yourself by saying that this can happen or that can happen. We can remove one-use plastic. $100 billion was supposed to be on table last year. That is the binding on the nation. Total money collected so far is $11 billion. So do you think humanity is serious about solving problem? Humanity has many other problems. Let me take two medical problems. What are the 2 or 3 major problem faces you in India where you might be research? Tuberculosis. Our Prime Minister took the challenge of saying that we should remove tuberculosis by 2025. India has 27% of tuberculosis. It still has 26.5% of all tuberculosis. Now there can be will, there can be a way, but there may not be a way. This is what to the younger crowd in the audience I want to emphasize on you. Think very clearly. Wishing away a problem doesn't get solved. So you have to learn the nature, the enemy. The second problem, which is known to everyone is talking about, but all the science put together today, as I stand in front of you, is unable to solve the problem. That is the problem of antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobe, the infectious agent that will kill more people than whole COVID killed in 3 years. So the microbial infection, and you might say the problem is very simple: the meningitis, the staphylococcus, the pneumonia. If God forgiving you and me, if you get a chest infection of the age of 75 years old and you have a multi-drug resistance bacteria, nothing can be done. Your lungs cannot be removed. And why I'm putting in front of you that the making problems which are bigger and making them sound like small will not solve the problem. So as a scientist, it's your duty to understand the nature of the problem. And if you connect health, environment, and chemical sciences, it'll take a huge time for you to connect where to begin. Diabetes, lifestyle disease. India is the capital of diabetes. Can chemists get together, bring another metformin? Well, everybody's working towards it. How do you solve that problem? So chemistry or chemical sciences have their work cut out. Can you find bacteria which can eat up plastic? Oh, we've been trying for 50 years. We haven't found any method so far to get rid of waste which is made by chemistry. Man-made fiber, man-made plastic. I remember you were not born. I'm only talking to the younger kids. There was a film called The Graduate. If you haven't seen the film, see the film. Dustin Hoffman is the hero of that film. Dustin Hoffman is my age now. And there's one scene in which Dustin Hoffman, as young graduate, stands up. And somebody comes and says to Dustin Hoffman, young man, the future is plastics. The future is man-made. There's so much refinery which produces chemicals have to be utilized somewhere. So everything that you and I see around me, I'm right here, about half of it would be man-made. And man-made stuff, medical chemicals, is very difficult to get rid of. This is what Mrs. Lekhi said. I said, but how do you solve it? If you have the power, well, you can stop production of plastic. Someone like me, a scientist, would like, if plastic is so bad, stop producing it. Forget about using it. Just don't make it anymore. That's why I said the problem is much more complicated. You're not going to stop making man-made fiber, man-made plastic, man-made this, man-made that. But all that, this man-made, you will be very difficult to get rid of. So you'll have the pollution problem. You'll have environment problem. In Delhi, if particulate matter goes up to 340, even 400, and the limit is somewhere in low second digits. So all of us who breathe air in this college or in Delhi are exposed to this. So science has the work cut out. My request to all the young chemists or future young chemists, that problems actually are far more serious. Then we give credit to the problem. Now, that doesn't mean we should freeze and say, my God, problem is so big, therefore we can't do anything. Not at all. But belittling a problem is a major issue. And each one telling the other one, this is the problem, you should do this, I should do this, but you should do that, is not going to work. So I'll finish with this saying what Prime Minister Modi said in Copa. And he's the first one to say international. Now people are talking, Pope Francis said it yesterday. Unless our own behavior changes, we can tell, I can tell DS, I can tell Pani Saab, aisa karo. But I don't follow that. So US can tell, or France can tell, or UK can tell India and China, ऐसा मत करिए, इससे CO2 ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा. But look at their own lifestyle. And if you read this paper, which will be public paper, and I request all you to read, this is the Vatican paper which will come. It says precisely what our Honorable Prime Minister said it 2 years back. That if you want to look into the problem of environment, climate change, hygiene, cleanliness, you have to change your personal behavior. Let me take an example. I come from home to your college. I can come in a small Maruti car. I can take metro. I can come in a SUV which runs only 6 kilometers an hour. Here is where the climate changes can be made. Will Germany, will government stop making cars which runs only 5 kilometers an hour? Think about it. Personal, and I think that's where what Shri Narendra Modi said, and you read that, what in COPA 26, 27 he said, until the world agrees to have behavioral change, personal behavior changes, community, village behavior changes, I don't think you're going to solve this problem. And I fully agree with him. So now onwards, if I can only say that, I could stand here and talk forever, which I'm not going to do. We have to figure it out. How do we look after us, our home, our neighborhood, our village, our community, then our state, and then our national level? Should that not happen? And I'm not the only one saying it. Now, whole world is saying that until personal behaviors are changes. So if you live in America, take a limousine service from New York to Washington. I'd gone there for a meeting. That car could take 12 people. And that car was sent for me, a single person from New York to Washington for an NIH meeting. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous behavior. So that level, if plastic doesn't have to be used, you don't use plastic then. Refuse these bottles. Why are these bottles on our table? Put glasses, if nobody drinks water out of a glass, let him or her not drink water. I think that's the kind of changes. Chemistry, of course, is outstanding. If you think vaccine was made by mRNA is known for 20 years. Catalin did this work in Pennsylvania, but it was encapsulated in a chemical called lipid. So chemistry does solve problems. So mRNA vaccines are folklore for future, that in 1 year you can make. And so the science will come. But science with solving problem that you keep producing is, I think, is nonsense. Stop making the problems, then let the science come in. I'm not going to talk too much about this. It's just too large a subject. Climate change, I don't think you can do very much. All of us put together can't do very much. We can only hope that the earth will remain as we see this earth, and that the behaviors of rich countries will change, behaviors of poor countries will change, and we just hope for the best. In the meantime, let's do good science and try to solve as many problems. AMR problem, tuberculosis problem, malaria problem, HIV problem, pandemic problems. There's galore of problems. So you would have your work cut out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Anyone can say they care, but watch their actions, not their words. If your actions don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say. Thank you, sir, for your very inspiring talk for our chemists to think about the challenges we are facing today. हमारे सम्मानीय अतिथि, हम सबके प्रेरणा स्रोत माननीय श्री सुरेश जैन जी भाई साहब मंच पर उपस्थित हैं। इन्होंने अपना सारा जीवन राष्ट्र को समर्पित किया है और 43 साल से राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के वरिष्ठ प्रचारक हैं। आप संघ में विभिन्न दायित्वों का निर्वहन करते हुए वर्तमान में भारत विकास परिषद के राष्ट्रीय संगठन मंत्री हैं। भारत विकास परिषद 1963 से मातृभूमि की सेवा में समाज के प्रबुद्ध वर्ग के लिए अद्वितीय संगठन है, जिसमें सेवा और संस्कार का सुंदर सामंजस्य देखने को मिलता है। सशक्त भारत यानी शारीरिक, आर्थिक और नैतिक रूप से सशक्त भारत। भारत विकास परिषद ने आपके कुशल नेतृत्व में पूरे देश में विस्तार की नई ऊंचाइयों को छुआ है तथा सेवा व संस्कार के क्षेत्र में विभिन्न कार्यक्रमों के माध्यम से परिषद का नाम ऊंचा किया है। मैं माननीय सुरेश जैन जी भाई साहब को उद्बोधन हेतु आमंत्रित करती हूँ।
धन्यवाद बहन जी, आपने अच्छा किया। रसायन शास्त्र पर यह अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार, उसमें आए हुए सभी देश विदेश से जो वैज्ञानिक हैं, स्कॉलर्स हैं, उन सब का मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं। मंच पर उपस्थित हमारे दोनों मुख्य अतिथि तो चले गए, पहले दो मुख्य अतिथि थे, अब एक भी नहीं है, अच्छी बात है। लेकिन मुख्य अतिथि जैसे ही हमारे डीन कॉलेजेस आदरणीय बलराम पानी जी उपस्थित हैं, हमारे वीएस चौहान जो इस विषय के विशेषज्ञ भी हैं और उन्होंने बहुत ही सार गर्भित कुछ बातें हमको बताई हैं, जिसका अनुसरण शायद हर किसी को करना चाहिए। डॉक्टर डीएस चौहान वाइस चांसलर रहे हैं, एजुकेशनिस्ट हैं, सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता भी रहे हैं। समाज में भिन्न भिन्न प्रकार की कुरीतियों को कैसे ठीक करना, इसमें भी उन्होंने काफी बढ़ चढ़ करके भाग लिया है। हमारे कुमायूं के वाइस चांसलर राउत साहब, फार्मास्यूटिकल यूनिवर्सिटी दिल्ली में क्या देश में एक ही है, उसके वाइस चांसलर आदरणीय गोयल साहब, हमारे प्राचार्य और हमारे केमिस्ट्री के हेड एसके अवनीश जी। वास्तव में आज जिस प्रकार की परिस्थिति निर्माण हुई है, सिर्फ भारत में नहीं, समस्त विश्व में, एक तरफ रसायन शास्त्र है, दूसरी तरफ स्वास्थ्य और पर्यावरण है। रसायन शास्त्र का दायित्व है कि वो समाज के स्वास्थ्य का ध्यान रखते हुए, जैसे प्रोफेसर चौहान ने कहा कि किस किस प्रकार की बीमारियां, अभी कोविड आया, एकदम से पूरी दुनिया में एक विशेष प्रकार की हलचल हुई, कितने ही लोग चले गए, कितने ही लोगों ने अपने प्राण खो दिए। ये रसायन शास्त्री थे, ये केमिकल साइंटिस्ट थे जिन्होंने वैक्सीन का निर्माण किया, और भारत भी उसमें बढ़ चढ़ करके संसार के अग्रिम देशों में रहा। परंतु कोविड जैसी बीमारी की उत्पत्ति क्यों हुई, किन देशों के कारण से हुई, किन साइंटिस्टों ने किस प्रकार का रिसर्च करने के कारण से, वो कौन सी वायरस थी जो पैदा करना चाहते थे, और उन वायरस के लीक होने से या उस वायरस के फैलने के कारण से कोविड बढ़ा, और देश ने इतना, दुनिया ने एक इतना भयंकर एक स्वप्न देखा। इसलिए रसायन शास्त्रियों को यह सोचना पड़ेगा, इस चैलेंजेस को लेना पड़ेगा, इन चैलेंजेस को स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा कि आज केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज के माध्यम से लोगों की सुविधाएं, लोगों के जीवन वैल्यू बढ़नी चाहिए, जीवन मूल्य बढ़ने चाहिए। एक सुविधाजनक जीवन बनना चाहिए, खराब नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं पूरे विश्व में भ्रमण नहीं किया है, लेकिन भारत के कोने कोने में मैं गया हूं। जहां जहां पर भी केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, वो पेस्टिसाइड की इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, वो फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, चाहे वो वापी है, पानीपत है, कोई कपड़े की इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, वहीं वहीं पर पॉल्यूशन का इतना भयंकर विस्फोट है, उसके मीलों मीलों तक मानव जीवन सुरक्षित नहीं है। और फिर सेमिनार होते हैं, एनजीटी जैसी संस्था बनती है, कैसे पॉल्यूशन दूर किया जाए, पॉल्यूशन बोर्ड बनते हैं, उन पर फाइन किया जाता है, वो फिर उसी प्रकार का काम करते हैं। वास्तव में टेक्नोलॉजी फेल है केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज को कंट्रोल करने में। शायद हो सकता है विश्व के कुछ देशों में इस प्रकार की टेक्नोलॉजी हो, लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ द जापान है, अमेरिका है, उनकी केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज भारत में है। आई नो गुजरात में बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज ऐसी हैं विच आर रन बाय द जापानीज, जापान में नहीं है। और उन इंडस्ट्रीज का जो पोल्यूशन है, उन इंडस्ट्रीज के कारण से जो आसपास का इंडस्ट्रियल जोन है, उसके कारण से जो एयर पॉल्यूशन है, वाटर पॉल्यूशन है, शायद देश की कोई नदी ऐसी नहीं है which has the pure water, drinking water. Even Ganga, Yamuna, all are polluted badly. Why? आज हमारे साइंटिस्टों को, आज हमारे रसायन शास्त्रियों को इस बात के, इस चुनौती को स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा, इस पर काम करना पड़ेगा कि हम समाज के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं। पैसे के लिए नहीं, उद्योग के लिए नहीं। और हमारे यहां एक दो लाइन में बताता हूं, निर्माणों के पावन युग में हम चरित्र निर्माण ना भूलें, वसुधा के कल्याण, निर्माणों के पावन युग में हम वसुधा का कल्याण न भूलें। ये जो एक वसुधा का कल्याण है, वसुधा का कल्याण क्या है? नॉन पॉल्यूटेड, चाहे वो वाटर है, चाहे वो एयर है, चाहे वो एटमॉस्फेयर है, चाहे वो गार्बेज है। आज ऑल अराउंड द वर्ल्ड टोटल जो भी समुद्री, उसमें कितना पॉल्यूशन है, किस किस प्रकार का पॉल्यूशन है, और थोड़ा बहुत इंडस्ट्रीज से बचता है। तो ये जो सारा एटॉमिक विस्फोट, इसके कारण से आज जीवन खतरे में है। आज देशबंधु कॉलेज में विश्व भर के सभी साइंटिस्ट, स्कॉलर्स, विशेषज्ञ रसायन शास्त्र के उपस्थित हुए हैं। उनका 3 दिन का सेमिनार है। उस सेमिनार की सफलता के लिए मैं कामना करता हूं, लेकिन इतना निवेदन करता हूं कि कुछ इस प्रकार की चीजों पर विचार करिए कि जो साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं, जो नेगेटिविटी है रसायन शास्त्र की, उसको कैसे सोल्व किया जा सकता है, कैसे उसको अच्छा बनाया जा सकता है, ताकि केमिकल यानी रसायन शास्त्र यह समाज कल्याण के लिए जानी जाए, ना कि समाज को या मानव मात्र को डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए जानी जाए। ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि आप सब यहाँ 3 दिन के लिए रुकेंगे, यहाँ विचार करेंगे, परस्पर आपका अच्छा चर्चा होगी, और हम विदेशी जो बंधु हमारे आए हैं, फॉरेनर साइंटिस्ट आए हैं, उन सबको ठीक से उनकी सेवा कर सकें, उनके साथ ठीक से हमारे यहाँ वो आनंद ले सकें, एक हैप्पीली वो यहाँ पर पार्टिसिपेट करें, और पार्टिसिपेट करते हुए हमको ये ज्ञान दें, हम सब मिलकर के कुछ इस प्रकार का करें जिससे रसायन के साइड इफेक्ट्स के बारे में विचार कर सकें। इतना ही कहकर के मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
आपका बहुत धन्यवाद। Our next guest of honor needs no introduction to the people from the field of chemistry of Delhi University, our Professor D.S. Rawat. Professor D.S. Rawat is at present Vice Chancellor of Kumaon University, Senior Professor Rawat was earlier working as Dean Examination in University of Delhi and served the Delhi University under different capacities. Sir, we are all eager to listen to you, Professor D.S. Rawat.
Professor V.S. Chauhan, who just left, Jain Sahab, Professor D.S. Chauhan, former Vice Chancellor of Uttarakhand Technical University, Professor Balram Pani, Professor Goyal, my colleague Professor Satish Awasthi, Professor Ramachari, Professor S.M. Chauhan, my colleague Professor Kukreti. It's an honor to be here this morning. Few days back, actually, I dropped an WhatsApp to Pratibha. I was not sure at that time whether I will be able to make it or not. I said, can you share with me the copy of the program? When she sent me the program copy, my name was not there in the list of the speakers. So I dropped another WhatsApp to her कि मेरा नाम तो इसमें कहीं स्पीकर उसमें नहीं है. तो then रोहित responded me कि सर वो आपको guest of honor में रखा हुआ है. So then I realized that my days are over to address the scientific audience on the condition of science what we made. So I am doing that job on and off in Kumar University now. Anyway, jokes apart, I must congratulate Pratibha and Dr. Gupta, Kamal Gupta, for taking the initiative to conduct such programs in the college. It's indeed very difficult to get hold on good speakers to conduct such programs in the college because of many reasons. Congratulations for these efforts, and I am hopeful that this conference will be a success. So you have three components in your this seminar. It's chemistry, health, and environment. It becomes a triangle actually. Each of this component is affected if one is not there. But when we talk about chemistry, the ancient chemistry, Indian contribution starts from Nagarjuna, who talked about metrology. Then Maharshi Kannad, who talked about the atom, which we now teach to the students, the Rutherford model of atomic structure, all that. But in the modern day chemistry, that it starts from the contribution in India itself, from Acharya P.C. Ray, who was the first person to establish industry in India, chemical industry that still exists in West Bengal. In general, if you talk about the role of chemistry in well-beings, in the ancient India, used the natural source for the cure of all kind of diseases. Reserpine is one of such example which was isolated from this city called Tibia College. That was isolated here, but since at that time the publication get delayed, there was nothing called IPR and all that. So the US company got all the credit. If you look at contribution of India in natural product, it was a huge contribution. Unfortunately, we lost that race because of the policies of other things. We could not continue that. But if you look at average life in 1900 at birth in India, that was 23.5 years. Mark this, 23.5 years in 1900. Today we cross 66 years. What made difference? The difference is made based on the branch of science that has made tremendous progress from the discovery of urea to modern day synthetic organic chemistry. People criticize synthetic organic chemistry, but even though more than 60% of the drug what we use today has natural source, but most of them are synthesized in the laboratory. So we need to make a balance between the environment and what we do in the laboratory. When we talk about the environment, any branch of science actually, apart from chemistry, will accuse the chemist for doing all sort of things that has impacted the environment very badly. If you look at the literature, in the early 1960s, there was a story called Burning River that was in Ohio. So one fine evening, the river caught the fire. Why this was so? At that time, the policy was anything that does not have a commercial value is waste. And how to dispose the waste? Either you dump into the river or burn through the air, because people did not realize how much it can impact the environment. But today, Ohio River is one of the cleanest river in the earth. What happened? Have we learned anything out of it? Answer is no. If you remember or recall, just 5 or 6 years back, there is a lake in Bangalore that caught fire. The same story that was 1960s in the United States, we repeated this in the city of Bangalore because we did not learn from that incident. So the question is how to practice the science in a true spirit. That is what it is important. And I hope this conference will address all such kind of issues. My best wishes for the successful of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We are privileged to have Professor S.K. Avasthi, Head Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi, our parent department, as our guest of honor. I invite you, sir, to please address the audience.
Good morning. Namaskar. Dignity sitting on the dais and off the dais, our colleague, student, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great occasion. This is a great occasion to be here to address the galaxy of scientists, not only from India, but also from the abroad. I must congratulate to Dr. Pratibha, who has coined this conference at the right time and selected a very good scientist, very good speaker from not only India, from also from the abroad. There are two burning issues in India as well as abroad. That is health issue and environmental issue. Most of our previous speakers have already mentioned those topics. So nothing is left more than that. But I would like to mention one thing over here, because India was very rich in terms of the drug discovery as well as in environmental. Now both things has been disturbed, and that's why all problems are coming up slowly and slowly. Yesterday I was reading one article because I have to give one talk today afternoon, just in the first session. So I was reading the article and I found there are 3 diseases which are coming up very fast in India. One is cancer, you might be aware. Second one is diabetic, and third one is blood pressure. And these diseases are as a result of tremendous pressure on young generation, on the work side, on the education side, and the other side. So I would suggest all and advise all young talented students to be aware of environmental and be aware of the stress and be aware of the other things which causes this disease. Professor V.S. Chauhan has mentioned one sentence that every citizen should do their own work, and that our Father of Nation has already mentioned some time back that every citizen should do their responsibility or work in a responsible manner. The nation will already reach at the highest. And this conference has a very, very good speaker, because this conference is mainly organized for the young talented students who has to take the responsibility and bring the nation forward. There are talks on the cancer biology. There are talks on the environmental side. There are talks some on other issues, burning issues, which are directly or indirectly related to the Indian society. One example I'll give, and then I'll stop my talk because it is already late. In Ayurveda, everything is mentioned. For example, the ancient Veda were using gold bhasm and silver bhasm. That is nothing but it was a nanoparticle of the gold and silver. Now the problem was that at that time we have not documented science or documented things in a proper way, and nation and the Western countries had taken up, and now they have given nanoparticle, nanoscience, material science that we were using for a long time. So I would advise to young children and budding scientists, talented student, to make your documentation whatever is possible in a good manner so the next generation can be benefited. And the last but not least, I congratulate Dr. Pratibha for the wonderful conference and wish her for successful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Our distinguished guest, Professor Balram Pani, the Dean of Colleges at the University of Delhi, is an accomplished academician with a diverse range of expertise. Before inviting you, sir, we congratulate you for being awarded Soul of India Award 2023 by the House of Lords, Parliament of the United Kingdom, London, for his outstanding contribution to excellence in nation building in academics, especially in the domain of environmental science and water pollution. I now invite you, sir, to please share your research insights with our young researchers and participants.
Namaskar. Good morning to you all. Honorable Chairperson, sir, Professor D.S. Chauhan ji, Professor D.S. Rawat ji, Professor Awasthi ji, Suresh Jain ji, Professor Kamal ji, Professor Goel ji, Professor Kukreti ji, and my dear colleagues and student friends and the participants. It is all about the 3 days international conferences on chemicals, on health and environment. Whenever you will call about the chemical science, and first of all, you will have to find it out, means what is the science and technology. Science and technology, there the thin difference. Science is that you will have certain probability. Yes, probability, and there is the possibility, that is called science. And whenever it will come to the reality, and you will have to develop some mechanism so that you can make this probability and possibility to the reality, that is called the technology. So both when will come together, then we'll find out the solution. Means here, Professor Rawat was saying that, okay, means everybody was accusing the chemistry, that chemistry is the main reason for the any problems. But I think chemistry is the one which can give the solution to all problems. Because first of all, means earlier days, and whenever it's the chemical science, when you talk about the environmental science, because I'm from the environmental, that's why I'm talking the environmental first, then I'll talk about the health. Environmental science, there is the, first of all, it was narrative that the dilution is the best solution to the pollution. So whatever the chemical wastes or whatever chemical byproducts are coming out, that should be discharged to the natural sinks. Means that is the atmosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere or a hydrosphere. But nowadays, the chemistry has developed a lot. So that's why right now we are saying that because of the science, and then it comes the technology, we have developed some mechanism by the use of the chemicals. Now we are saying that prevention is the best solution to the pollution. So in that way, with the chemistry, that way, means in the green chemistry, we are always saying that in the chemical reactions, means when we will talk about the chemical reactions, here we'll never go for the elimination reaction, we are going for the addition reaction, which will serve the atmosphere or serve the environment in a better way, and it will reduce the pollution, whatever it is. So in that way, that is. And whenever, means right now, you get that the Nobel Prize on quantum dots. Quantum dots, it is the another way you are saying that it is the semiconductor nanocrystals. And these nanocrystals means when you will talk about the nanocrystal, it is also developed in such a manner so that it will be used as the medicine carrier in the body. And now this is the age of nanocrystals. And in chemistry, it is giving to importance to all. Means that is the nano means it can go to the micro level, and it will give the importance to macro organisms. Everybody is involved here. And these nanoparticles, this can be used in the bioscience so that it will be used as the medicine, and it will be medicine carrier in your inside your body. Means whenever you will use it, and it will benefit. And the chemistry is the only one. Means here Professor Rawat was saying that there are many natural products which are used as the medicine. And to this, if you add the chemistry and the natural products, means both will come together, and it will serve the nation and serve the mankind. And these are the things. And first of all, I apologize because I came late. And again, I will go, means I have another meeting because, so for that, there is no excuse, that there is no reason to be excused. And I am late, so that's why I beg my apologies to you all. And you have invited me, and I'm very much thankful to you all. And again, I say thank you, namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. We will cherish the words of wisdom of all our guests and look forward to apply them in our personal and professional lives. I now invite convener of the conference, Dr. Pratibha Kumari, to give a brief about the conference. She is Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Deshbandhu College.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Honorable Minister Shrimati Meenakshi Lekhi ji, Honorable Minister Shri Krishnpal Gujar ji, our respected Professor Balram Pani sir, Professor V.S. Chauhan sir, Professor D.S. Rawat sir, Professor S.K. Avasthi sir, and the respected Shri Suresh Jain ji, our Chairman sir, Professor D.S. Chauhan, respected Principal sir, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta, a very warm welcome to the International Conference on Integrated Chemical Science for Health and Environment. Thank you for your encouraging words and best wishes for the conference. I stand before you all with great pleasure and as the convener of this international conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to the dignitaries on the dais, eminent speakers, faculty members, research scholars, and all of you present here in the hall, and to those who have joined us online. I take this opportunity to thank Augusta University, Indian Society of Chemists and Biologists, Indian Association of Solid State Chemists and Allied Scientists, who have agreed to collaborate with us to organize this conference. I want to express my sincere gratitude to all our invited speakers, session chairs, who have agreed to share their expertise and research work with all of us. Besides 46 invited talks, there shall be 44 oral presentation in offline mode and 102 oral presentations in online mode. And 69 poster presentation will be there in a time period of 3 days. The multidisciplinary and global approach to this conference on integrative chemical science for health and environment will definitely inspire our young researchers to work further in this field to create a safe, healthier, and more sustainable world. I hope this conference will be instrumental in promoting collaborations between researchers, academicians, and industrial experts from all over the world. Together, we can make this international conference a memorable and enriching experience for all through sharing knowledge and research work. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you and wish you all a very fruitful time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Pratibha. I thank you all for joining us for the inauguration session. We now disperse for the high tea and then assemble according to the schedule. Thank you once again. According to the schedule by 12:15. According to the schedule, by 12:10 and 12:15, we have to assemble here in the Vivekanand Auditorium and also in the conference hall if your presentation is there. Thank you very much.